יראי אלוקים, אנשי אמת, זרע קודש בה, השם דבקים. לזכני לגדל, בנים ובני בנים, חכמים ונבונים. אוהבי השם יראי אלוקים, אנשי אמת, זרע קודש בה, השם דבקים. ומאירים את העולם, בתורה ומעשים טובים, ובכל מלאכת עבודת הבורא. ומאירים את העולם, בתורה ומעשים טובים, ובכל מלאכת עבודת הבורא. ומאירים את העולם, בתורה ומעשים טובים, ובכל מלאכת עבודת הבורא. ומאירים את העולם, בתורה ומעשים טובים, ובכל מלאכת עבודת הבורא.
Good evening, Mazel Tov, and welcome to Ilan's virtual Bar Mitzvah. This really is a very special and unique moment. You see, normally at this point, I thank Louise and Josh who worked so hard to make this virtual Bar Mitzvah possible. But this time it's thanks to Benji, no pressure. And instead, a huge Mazel Tov to Louise, Josh, and of course, Ilan and all the family. We're now going to go live to the Moont house as I hand over to Benjamin, Samuel, and Keren, and then we'll hear Ilan Lane. So guys, it's over to you.
Rabbi, family, and friends, welcome to Ilan's online Bar Mitzvah. We are really happy that you are all here with us virtually to celebrate this Simcha.
Particularly, we want to mention our grandma and grandpa watching in Zichron Yaakov, and our Nana and Seda who have travelled up from the South End and are watching from their hotel room nearby.
We're also delighted that our aunts, Chaya, Ruth, Deborah, and Yael, uncles Guy, Mark, and Gideon, and cousins Avidan, Saul, Jake, Leora, Kayla, Owen, Rena, and Evie from around the world are tuning in to watch this.
We wanted to share a few words about our brother Ilan today, but our parents edited out most of what we were going to say. Apparently too embarrassing and not fair.
The only part they have left in was the bit where I say, Ilan, we are really happy and proud that you are our brother and wish you a huge Mazel Tov today and over Shabbat.
This evening, Ilan will read from Shishi and Shvi from Harshat Ekev, and Haftarah, which is from Yeshayahu, chapter 49.
Ki ha'aret asher ata v'shama le'isha lo cha'eretz Mitzrayim hi asher yitzatem misham asher tizvah et tzvacha ve'ishkita v'raglecha k'kan ha'yirak v'ha'aret asher atem ovim shama le'isha eretz harimim v'karot nimtar hashmayim t'shamayim Eretz asher Adonai Elohecha doresh otah tamid Einei Adonai Elohecha b'mereshit hashana v'ad acharit shana v'haya im shameru tishme'u mitzvotai asher anochi mitzaver etchem hayom la'ahava et Adonai Elohechem milov tov בכל לבבכם ובכל נפשכם ונתתי מתועתכם ואיתו יובהם הכוש וסבת תגנך ותיושך ויצווך ונתתי עשב שדך לפנתך ואכלת ושבעת הישמעו לכם, הן יבטל לבבכם, ושאתם עבדתם אלוהים אחרים, והשתחוויתם להם, וחרף אדוני בכם. ועשה את השמיים ולא יהיה מטר, והאדמה לא תיתן טבילה, עבדתם מהרה מאור הארץ הטובה, אשר אדוני נותן לכם, ושמתם את דברי אלה על לבבכם ונפשכם, וקשרתם אותם לאות אתכם, והיו לטוטפות בעיניכם, ולימדתם אותם את בניכם לדבר בם. ושבתך ביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשכבך ובקמך, לכתתם, ומזיזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען יבוא ימיכם וימי בניכם על האדמה, אשר נשבע אדוני לאבותיכם לתת להם, כימי השמיים על הארץ. כי אם שמות תשמעון את המצווה הזאת, אשר אנוכי מצווה אתכם היום, מצווה אתכם לעשותה, לאהבה את אדוני אלוהיכם, ללכת בכל דרכיו ולרכבו, והורש אדוני את הגויים האלה בפניכם, וישם גויים גדולים ועצימים מכם, כל המקום אשר תדרוך כף רגליכם, בו לכם יהיה מן המדבר בלבנון, מן הנהר נהר פרת, ועד הים האחרון יהיה גבולכם, ויתייצב איש בפניכם, פחתכם ומורכם ייתן אדוני אלוהיכם, על פני כל הארץ אשר תרחיבה, כאשר דיבר לכם. ותאמר ציון אספני אדוני, ואדוני שכחני, אל תשכח אישה אילה, מבכם בן בנה, גם אלה תשכחנה, ואנוכי לא אשכחך. הן על כפיים חכותיך, חומותייך נגדי תמיד, מהרו בנייך, מעשייך ומחביבייך ממך יצאו, שיא סביב עינייך וראי, כולם נקבצו ואילך, חי אני מאדוני, כי כולם כעדי תלבשי, ותחשבים כלכלה. כי חובותייך ושוממותייך בארץ הביסיתך, כי אתה תצבי מיושב וחכים מבלעייך, עוד יומי באזנייך בני שקילייך, סלי המקום כשלי וישבה, ועמד בבבך, מי ילד לי את אלה, ואני שחילה וגלמידה, גולה וסירה, ואלה מי גדל, הנה לי נשארתי לבדי, אלה איפה הם, כה אמר אדוני אלוהים, הנה אשא אגרים ידי, וירמם ערים נשיא, והביא בנייך בחוצן, ובנותייך על כתף תנשאנה, והיו מלכים אומנייך, ושרותיהם מני כוסייך אפיים, ארץ תשתחווי לך, ועפר רגלייך ילככו, וידעת כי אני אדוני, אשר לא יבוש יקבעי, היקח מקיבו מקח, תמשבי סרטי כמלאת, כי כה אמר אדוני, גם שבי קיבו ייקח, ומקח ארץ ימלאת, ואת סביבך אנוכי ערב, ואת בנייך אנוכי אושיע, והאכלתי את מנייך את בשרם, וכעשית דמם ישכבון, וידעוך בשר, כי אני אדוני ראשך בגואלך אבי יעקב, כה אמר אדוני איזה ספר כריתות עמכם אשר שלחתיה או ממלושי אשר מכרתי אתכם לו, האין בעוונותיכם ננקטתם ובפשעיכם שילחה עמכם, מדוע באתי ויענש קראתי ואין עונה קצרה ידי מפדות וימין בי חרך לעצל הן בגאוותי אחרי ים אסם נהרות מטפח טבע שגתם מעין מים ותמות בצמא בשמיים כתבת ושק אסם כסיתם, אדוני אלוהים נתן לי לשון למותם לדעת את יעד דבר יעד בבוקר יעד לי אוזן לשמוע כלמותיהם, אדוני אלוהים פתח לי אוזן ואנוכי לא מריתי, אחות לא נסיגותי, קיבי נתתי למקם ולחיי למותם, פניי לא הסתרתי מכלימות ברוק, ואדוני אלוהים יעזור לי, על כן לא נחלמתי, על כן שמתי פניי כחלמש, ואדע כי לא אבוש, קרוב מצדיקי מיריב איתי נעמת יחד, מבעל משפטי ייגש אליי, הן אדוני אלוהים יעזור לי, מי ישייני, הן כולם כבגד יבלו אשר חלם, מי בכם ירא אדוני, שומע בקול עבדו אשר הלך אשריכם, ואינו כך לא יבטח בשם אדוני וישען באלוהיו, הן כולכם קודחי אש מאזורי זיקות וכי באשכם ובזיקות ביאתם מידי התעזור לכם למעשה בעד ששכבן, שמעו אליי ועוטפי צדק מבקשי אדוני, הביטו אשר חיפשתם והמרכבת בו נקראתם, הביטו אל אברהם אביכם ביד שרה תאכלכם, כי אחד כרתיו ברכהו בהרבהו, כי נחם אדוני ציון, נחם כל חופותיך וישמם ברק כעדן, ובטח כגן אדוני, ששון ושמחה ימת שיבה, תודה וכל שמחה.
Mazel Tov.
Yeshua Ilan, that was fantastic laning, and your Haftarah is beautiful as well, and you survived those sweets being thrown at you. Delighted to ask your dad Josh to come back in and sing the traditional song sung to Bar Mitzvahs, Shema B'ni.
Shema B'ni Musar Avicha V'al titash Torat Imecha. Shema B'ni Musar Avicha V'al titash Torat Imecha. Shema B'ni Musar Avicha V'al titosh Torah Imecha. Torah Tzeva lanu Moshe Morasha Kehilat Yaakov Torah, Torah, Tziva lanu Moshe, Morasha, Morasha, Kehilat Yaakov Torah, Torah, Tziva lanu Moshe, Morasha, Morasha, Kehilat Yaakov, Yaakov.
Ilan, we are, as you must realize, especially after that brilliant laning, incredibly proud of you. We have nurtured you and watched you grow from a stubborn yet shy boy in nursery, refusing to pick up a pencil or a paintbrush, to a curious boy, full of questions about the world, to the young man you are today, a new teenager, absolutely obsessed with Arsenal, FIFA, your phone, and your hair. But beyond that, there is so much more to you. You're a kind, sensitive, and loyal young man who cares deeply about your family and friends. You're committed to our religion, and spending increased time with you over lockdown, we have gained even more of an insight into the man you will become. Amongst other things, a fine mathematician, proud Zionist, and budding dessert chef. Since the pandemic began, we have moved through a whole range of thoughts, ideas, and emotions about your bar mitzvah. Where will it be? What will it look like? Will there be an opportunity to really celebrate? It's been complicated, at times uncomfortable, and to be honest, initially clouded with disappointment. But these feelings have been completely eclipsed by our pride. Ilan, you have not wavered. You've continued to learn, to study your laning, and look forward to every aspect of your bar mitzvah, whatever that might be. In doing so, you have shown us the true spirit and meaning of this milestone event. You were delighted when you first started looking at your Sedra, Akev, because although long, it contained the second paragraph of the Shema, which you already knew. In particular, you chose to look in more depth at the mitzvah of tefillin, which is mentioned within it. As you approached your bar mitzvah, you began wearing your own set, and these aren't just any tefillin. They've been passed on from your late great grandpa Jack. And every day, you wind these around you in the same way that generations before you have done, to connect yourself to Hashem and to our traditions. Every day, you will renew and strengthen these connections as you grow into your Jewish identity and set on your own path to create your future built firmly upon our heritage. But here we are today at your virtual bar mitzvah, and so it feels totally appropriate to give you some gentle words of advice and parental encouragement for the future. So firstly, let's consider your status as a teenager. Now, more than ever, we realize that the future is complex, and it throws us unexpected challenges that require both determination and flexibility to move through. So, whilst you can, put down the screens, please. Look and learn from the world around you, try new things, go on adventures, and take in as much as you can. But importantly, carry on being Ilan. Don't lose sight of who you are. Smiley, kind, loyal, and loving. A person with huge potential and opportunity in the world, and someone who brings happiness to others too. And advice for being a Jewish adult? Here, we want to look back to help us look forward. So let's go right back to when you were born. You really kept us waiting, arriving 8 days late, and a boy. Who'd have thought it? We were so happy, but what could we name you? What would be the right name for you? After much animated discussion, we decided upon Ilan Abraham. Ilan meaning tree and representing the roots and strength of character we hope you would have, as also represented by our choice of Abraham, our patriarch, for your middle name. And as we move further to another significant event, your Hagigah HaSiddur, the giving of your first prayer book, we decorated the cover of this Siddur with nice pictures, your name, but also a pasuk, which not only links to your name, but to a message we felt was important to give you. Do you remember? Yeah, it's Chaim He. Yeah, it's Chaim He, L'mohazikim bo, v'tomchecha me'yusha, meaning it's a tree of life for those who grasp it, and those who uphold it are happy. And as we came to think once again for a message for you as you make your way as a bar mitzvah, we found ourselves drawn once again to the same slightly extended line, which seems particularly relevant at this time. A line we find ourselves saying once again in shul as we return the Sefer Torah, and today we use it to remind you that wisdom, Torah, is a tree of life to be held onto and used to guide you in pleasantness and peace as you move through your life's journey. And now, we wish you Mazel Tov as you start on this new path of Jewish adulthood. Mazel Tov, Ilan.
So it wouldn't be a Moont bar mitzvah if we didn't take a moment to express our gratitude to my Uncle Robert, who is here with us today. Please do come over.
Ilan, it's been my great pleasure to...
Hold on a second. Sorry, I've got more to say. Robert, thank you. You have yet again given up your Sunday mornings to educate and inspire our son. I'm still incredibly impressed that even after teaching me, you agreed to teach my children. The skill and love of learning that you've passed on to so many in our family is invaluable and gives a great start to Jewish adulthood. We feel incredibly blessed not only to have you in our lives, but also that you are able to join us, to share in our joy, and to now give Ilan the priestly blessing.
Thank you, Josh. Ilan, it's been a great pleasure to teach you, as it has been to teach all of your family. I think probably this is the last one now. So, as a descendant of Aaron, my father's name was Aaron, I'm going to give you the priestly blessing. Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'eh Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his face to you and give you peace.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen. Shkoyach. Thank you, Robert. Now, Ilan, Mazel Tov to you on your bar mitzvah. And Mazel Tov to your parents. Mazel Tov to you, Louise and Josh. To your grandparents, Barbara and Jonathan Moont, and Rita and Trevor Ray. And to all your other relatives in Israel, America, those closer to home but not actually in your home. And not forgetting Benjamin, Samuel, and Karen. Ilan, they all quite rightly shep so much nachas from you today. And I hope you're aware just how proud they are of you today and every day. As we all heard, your laning and Haftorah were excellent. They were first class. And you've clearly worked hard to prepare for today, and it's really, really paid off. Credit to you and to your teacher, your great Uncle Robert, who taught you in such a special bond to have there. It was also great to see you laying in shul this morning, and we look forward to hearing you again on Shabbos morning. I'm just sorry that this isn't quite the bar mitzvah that you were expecting, but as a hybrid of both a physical and virtual bar mitzvah, this is still very much a welcome simcha for you and your family. Now, Ilan, I don't normally speak about people's names, but as we heard from your mother about your special name, and I was intrigued when I saw the quote on the back of this beautiful siddur, Eitz Chaim hi l'machazikim ba. It's a tree of life to those who grasp it. The Torah is referred to as an eitz, a tree. But Ilan also means a tree. As we call Tu B'Shvat, Chag HaElanot, the Rosh Hashanah Le'Elanot, the new year for trees. So which one is it? Eitz or Ilan? Which one means a tree? The simple answer is both. You see, in Lashon HaKodesh in Hebrew, when one word would suffice, we often choose two or more words. And it reminds me of the very early Woody Allen film called The Front. He's a nice Jewish, Brooklyn, crazy mixed-up Jewish kid who meets a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant girl. And they're talking about the differences between their different childhoods. Woody Allen asks her, what was the biggest sin in your childhood? And she says, speaking before you're spoken to. And then she asks him, what's the biggest sin in your childhood? And he replies, buying retail. You see, Jewish people don't buy retail. We buy wholesale. We always buy in bulk. So when one word is not enough, one word isn't enough. It has to be two or more. That's why we have more than one word for a tree. But let's see if we can find a deeper significance. You see, the truth is, Eitz is biblical Hebrew, whereas Ilan is rabbinic Hebrew. Also, Eitz is ambiguous because it can mean tree or wood. And that is why Rashi finds it necessary to explain the phrase Tachas HaEitz as Tachas HaIlan, to make it clear that Abraham was inviting his guests to rest under the shade of a tree. rather than under a wooden roof or something similar. And so we see that eitz is used to refer to wood, while Ilan refers to the tree itself. Now, of course, again, in Jewish tradition, there are some exceptions to this rule. Most notably, the bracha that we make for fruit, borei pri ha'etz. And whereas, if to confuse us, the Mishnah rules, al peiros ha'Ilan omer, on the fruits of an Ilan, we say, borei pri ha'etz. But that brings us back to the beautiful phrase for Mishle Eitz Chayim Hi, that the Torah is a living tree. Says the Ibn Ezra on that pasuk, Ke'etz Chayim, it's like a tree of life. She'ha'ochel mi'priyav yichyeh shanim rabos, because those who eat its fruit will live for many years. And that's why the Shalah teaches us, is chazek miskasha be'ilan, someone who's wise will grasp hold of and tie themselves to the tree. So Ilan, I say to you, if you involve yourself with Torah for its own sake, then the Torah will be a life-saving medicine. You won't be able to live without it. Now, you've already shown great commitment to learning Torah. You stay after school for BMT, for the Beit Midrash track, not because you're forced to, but because you're self-motivated to, which is great. You show maturity and independence in learning, and you were nominated by your teachers for your attitude and hard work. You have a growth mindset. Ilan, you have been given a fantastic start in life. You come from a loving and caring home that values Torah learning and community. You know, over the years, your parents have done so much for our community. They've hosted events, many events, and been at the forefront of numerous initiatives between them, providing both content and presentation. But Louise, Josh, I can't let this moment pass without thanking you on behalf of the whole community for something very specific. You see, for those who don't know, since lockdown, you have spearheaded the BES Stay Connected strategy. You were the chalutzim, you were the pioneers of these virtual bar and bat mitzvahs. Because no one before this had heard of StreamYard before you used it so successfully. Although I have to point out that other platforms are available. That your vision and your commitment and your technical skills and your attention to detail have meant that many, many families, and I've lost count how many, that they've been able to celebrate their simcha in a unique and meaningful way. And that's thanks to you. You know, they say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, and your system has been adopted by others, while your fame has even spread across the Atlantic. But we cannot thank you enough for guiding us through this time. And I just hope that a slice of all those other simchas has infused your own. You deserve to enjoy this moment for having enabled so many others to enjoy theirs. And my sincere feeling is that, please God, at some time in the future when coronas will have been long forgotten about, you'll tell your grandchildren that you were the first people to run a bar mitzvah online. And you know what their response will be? Or they won't believe that you were able to do it without 8G. Now, Ilan, I say to you, now that your bar mitzvah, your challenge is to always hold on tight to the Eitz Chayim, to that tree of life. Continue to learn Torah. Deepen your understanding of it and grow in your commitment to its mitzvahs. As it says in Pirkei Avos, turn it over and keep turning it over and over, because everything you need for your life is in it. And if you can do that, then you'll find happiness and success. And I say, may it lead you along pleasant paths, so that whatever you do, you will be a source of great nachas and simcha to your dear parents, grandparents, family, community, and ultimately to God Himself. Amen. Mazel Tov. Now it gives me great pleasure to make a special Mishu Berach on the occasion of your bar mitzvah. Mishu Berach Avoseinu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Yivarech es habracha bar mitzvah Ilan Avraham ben Yoshua Chaim Shimalu lo 13 shana v'higil mitzvos V'ala la Torah 7 chota al kol tova shemalti tzoi HaKadosh Baruch Hu yishmerehi v'yatzilei mikol tzavos mikol nekol machala. V'yasem liba v'asoi v'asoi v'lasos v'soi nolav dabrei Hashem kol yamim. V'nomar Amen. May He who bless our fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob bless Ilan, who has attained his 13th birthday and has reached the age to perform mitzvahs and has been called to the Torah to give praise and thanks for all the good things you have done for him. May the Holy One, blessed be He, protect him and save him from all trouble and distress, from every plague, virus, and disease. May He implant in his heart the desire to love and revere Him, and the desire to do His will with a perfect heart throughout his life. And let us say, Amen. It's a great pleasure to ask your Mum Louise to present you with your Bar Mitzvah certificate.
Presented to Ilan Moont, Ilan Abraham, Ben Hoshua Chaim, on the occasion of his Bar Mitzvah, 16th of Av, 5780, 6th of August, 2020, at home, in partnership with Bournemouth and L Street Synagogue.
Mazel Tov. Now I'm delighted that we have a special message for you, Ilan, from our chairman, Simon Mitchell.
Ilan, a huge Mazel Tov to you on behalf of all the community on your Bar Mitzvah. I hope you don't mind, but I'd like to address a few words to your wonderful parents. Louise and Josh, without you, these last few months, for so many of the smachot in our community, would have been so fundamentally different. From the first moment that somebody suggested we look to do a virtual online simcha, your combined talent, your creativity, your dedication, and your passion have come to the fore to help make sure that so many of our wonderful Bar Mitzvah boys and Bar Mitzvah girls have been able to celebrate. You've managed to get international acclaim. You've managed to make it onto media outlets that I don't think BS could ever make it onto. And it is a testament to the hard work and the passion that you've put in. Of course, you are both huge servants to our community, doing so much, which is so appreciated. None of our presentation of anything would be the same without you, Josh. But Louise, as an HO, and having had the chance to work with you for the last 18 months closely, to see your vision, your pioneering attitude, your attention to detail and your focus, it's just amazing. And our community is so privileged and lucky to have you as part of the leadership team. And indeed to have both of you as such a wonderful couple, adding so much value to our community. Ilan, take a look at your parents. They are shining examples of what community service looks like. And if you can live up to their example, you're going to go really far in life. So Mazel Tov again, and enjoy your simcha.
Thank you, Simon. I'd like to the last word, please, back to Josh and Ilan.
So finally, a few thank yous. Thank you first of all to Rabbi Chapper and Simon Mitchell for your kind words this evening, and to your support along with the BES wardens as we've navigated through preparations for Ilan's virtual and in-shul Bar Mitzvah. Thank you also to Bentiano, who rather brilliantly has managed all the tech behind the scenes so that we can relax and enjoy our simcha tonight. We must also take a moment to thank those who have helped us along the way through our parenting experience so far. It's often said that it takes a village to raise a child, and we found this to be especially true when raising 4. So whether you've been there for practical support, offered a friendly ear to listen to us moan, or helped us in another way, thank you. Sorry, Louise, I'm going slightly off script now. It would be wrong to finish this evening without mentioning the other star of tonight, my beautiful and talented wife. At the start of this pandemic, as you've heard, you had the vision to create the virtual Bar Mitzvah format, and you've worked tirelessly with my technical support to bring over 20 bar and bat mitzvahs to our screens. Working with each family to create a unique and customized event that has brought so much joy to so many during these hard times. And this, alongside your work, looking after all of us, and the other roles you've taken on in the community as an HO of our shul. I'm so proud of you, and you inspire me and the kids every day. We all love you so much. And finally, to our parents, Barbara and Jonathan, Rita and Trevor, thank you so much for all you do, have done, and continue to do for and with our children. It's appreciated more than you can know.
Thank you to everyone for watching my bar mitzvah.
Bye.
Simon Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Simon Tov. Simon Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Simon Tov. Simon Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Simon Tov. Yep, hey Ilan. Simon Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Simon Tov. Simon Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Simon Tov. Simon Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Simon Tov. Yep, hey Ilan.